This is Verity White from Checklist Legal, and this is part 2 of how I built this legal helper bot, chatbot, the Fair Term Checker, which is helping in-house lawyers to turn their minds to the unfair contract terms laws, which are on their way this year in Australia in 2023. Before I show you the app, though, and you'll be able to go through it yourself soon enough. I wanted to share with you some of the background. So if you haven't seen episode 1 where I kind of showed how I planned it out in a mind mapping tool, then don't skip that episode because it's great. I'll show you now some of the back end, and if you remember the um, colorful approach that I took to the mind mapping tool, then you'll understand one of the reasons why when we come into the Joseph app, one of the reasons why I really like to have it planned out is because this map here, and it's nothing, it's not necessarily any easier in any other apps, but I find this quite difficult to navigate. The fact that it's all purple, that everything looks the same. I know that there's kind of little icons here that all mean different things, but they kind of all blur together, especially because I can't drag and drop these, which is what I'm very used to when I'm using a mind map. I'm used to having control over dragging and dropping, so I can kind of put things together where I want them. I can change the color, I can add icons, I can do all kinds of things. Because of the way that this platform's set up, though, I don't have any of that there. So if I had built this app just without my flow chart, and I'll pull it up so that we know what it is. Without the flow chart, I would get quite stuck. And often when I was building this from my this what do we call it? A mind map. Because I was building it from the mind map and I knew that I'd mapped this part out, I was able to refer back and I would be like, okay, so what was my flow again if they had more than $10 million in annual turnover, or if they did this, and what was the order that I did it in, so I could find the details. Whereas if you just build straight into an app itself, then you're beholden to whatever structure that particular app has. And if you are just learning it, or even if you're quite good at it, it's surprisingly easy to delete things by accident, or if you're typing, you can type over things, and it's so frustrating when you lose your work. So again, I really recommend building outside of an app so that you've kind of got your own version of it, and you can do it end to end quite quickly without worrying about some of the different bits and pieces that they build out. That's my hot tip. So looking at this side of the world, you can see that it kind of can get quite overwhelming pretty quickly. So if you're not familiar with building in an app, and if you don't like the idea of building mind maps, then even just writing things out in a Word document, a Google document, so that you can kind of understand the flow and you've got somewhere that text and the concepts that you're wanting to build out. I think it can be really, really valuable. That's my hot tip on building. Looking forward to sharing with you some of the actual details of the app soon. Bye for now.